Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back. First and foremost, I would just like to address the energies over the last couple weeks because, my God, um, I don't know about any of you, but I know that myself personally, pretty well everybody that I've come into contact with has definitely felt this major surge, a lot of soreness, back aches, headaches, neck pain, nausea, even some mild like flu-like symptoms, just anything of that nature, has been really, really prominent through everybody that I've come into contact with over the last couple weeks, and myself included. Was just, oh my goodness, it just felt like I had no energy. I was just completely zapped. I mean, it took everything I had just to be able to go to work and function and whatever. So I hope I woke up this morning myself feeling much better. I'm just going to speak it much better. Still a little bit of soreness and whatnot, but uh, much, much better. We're heading in the right direction again, finally. So today I wanted to come on and talk to you about fear and how fear can hold us back, how we internalize it, and the outward expressions that it may show up as in our life, and maybe some few guides or pointers to just be able to help yourself get through it. Because when we're in the midst of fear, it can feel so overpowering and so consuming, and so much like it is us. And honestly, like, there is a legitimate reason for us to be afraid. One of the greatest things, and I don't know if it was Neville Goddard, who was it, I don't remember. Anyway, I've heard many, many, many times over all kinds of different people. Fear, false evidence appearing real. Now, that's such a profound statement if you really take a moment to consider that. Fear, false evidence appearing real. And it does. It feels so real. It feels so overwhelming, to the point that that fear starts to control your life. That fear starts to control your choices that you make. And next thing you know, you're in this ball of life that you feel like you have no control over whatsoever. And I say this from personal experience too. So much of my life was built from a fear point of the what ifs, you know, fear based around a lot of what ifs, or this could happen, or that could happen, or they could, the way that somebody else perceives us, or, you know, and next thing you know, you're just in this cocoon. You're in this cocoon of fear, and just about afraid to leave your house, afraid to take a risk, afraid to take the next step forward. It engulfs every part of us and our choices. And that's the main problem that comes out of this, is when our choices are altered due to a fear state. I'm here to tell you that no matter what it is that you are facing in this moment, that no matter what it is that's going on in your life, that you are always safe. You are always protected. You are always looked out for, and you are always guided Now, when we're so busy being constricted and closed down, it's hard to see or hear that guidance. But it's there. It's always there for you. Every moment of your life. You just have to simply open up a little bit to it. So I mentioned that I lived in a very fearful state for a long, long time in my life. Okay. And it ruled my choices and my decisions. It ruled everything. Every action I took was fear based of, the what ifs. One thing that I did to help me get through and or push through was to face that fear head on. I once heard a story about a cow and a buffalo, and I know this sounds so foolish, but hear me out, please. I once heard a story about a cow and a buffalo, and there was a storm approaching. The cow ran in the opposite direction of the storm, attempting to seek shelter. As the storm rolled in, it was steadily chasing that cow down. The buffalo turned and looked at the storm head on, face first, and ran right through that storm. Because that buffalo faced that storm head on and ran through, yes, it went through a storm. Yes, there was thunder and lightning. Yes, there was rain and it was soaking wet. But it got through it much quicker. The cow that had ran in the opposite direction now was being chased by the storm. So the further the cow ran and the more this storm rolled in, it was just prolonging the inevitable. So with that story, I'm inviting you to be the buffalo. Be the buffalo. Whatever, and start small if you need to. Face a small fear. Tell yourself, today I'm going to whatever it is, whatever fear it is, whether it's going out in public and highly, lots of people, around, and that makes you uncomfortable. Face that head on. Go somewhere where there are lots of people. Show yourself that you're capable of overcoming this fear. Be the buffalo today. Take one thing that gets to you and face that fear head on. Without judgment, and show yourself some love and understanding for where you're at right now. That's very important too, because it is okay to be afraid. It is okay for us to have fears. It is okay for us to not understand. That's perfectly fine. That doesn't make you any less. Because truth be told, even some of the strongest people in this world have fears of their own that others would laugh at. Your journey is your journey, and it is for you. So whatever fear it is that you're facing right now, I encourage you to take the first step in proving to yourself, show yourself that is exactly what I said. False evidence appearing real. That even though it may feel scary in that moment, that you can overcome that. Be the buffalo and push through. Because once you come out of that storm, on the other side, you're going to look with so much joy and laughter and giggly excitement, because for one, you conquered a fear. You overcame something. And For two, because you did it. Something that you lacked belief in yourself, you did. You overcome that. Begin to show yourself today that you are capable of these things that you may be afraid of. Step out of yourself and get out of your own way. Even starting this YouTube channel for me, there was so much fear around it when I first began, of what would people think and how would they perceive me, and any what if scenario that you could possibly come up with. And every time I make a video, I overcome that fear more and more. Every time I show up here authentically as myself and my own beliefs and my own opinions and my own points of view, the more I'm able to drop that fear. My youngest son, I live in a really big city. When he first came here, he started off as that kid that wouldn't even go up to refill his own soda at a restaurant because we were in a crowded place and there was so much fear, afraid to drive, afraid, like there were so many fears on him. And step by step by step by step, he has walked the path of showing himself that he is capable of overcoming those fears and that those fears were invalid in the first place. He has his own car. He drives himself to and from work. You know, he's not as afraid. We're still working on that one a little bit, in public, to go out alone, to go into crowded stores. He's learning and growing and expanding. And I'm inviting you to do the same. Even if it takes multiple times of doing something, that's okay. But start. Put yourself out there. Take that risk. Take the first step. Be the buffalo. Run into that storm. Whatever it is that you're afraid of, show yourself that you can overcome that, because you can. You are more than capable and more than strong enough and more than courageous enough. You have these capabilities within you, but you have to believe in yourself first. And sometimes, even if you don't believe in yourself, take the first step anyway. Because when you come out on the other end of it, you're going to feel an empowerment, I promise you, that is undeniable. So don't let your fears rule you. Don't let the things that frighten you make your life's decisions for you. Because none of those things are truly meant to hold you in place where you are. You're meant to grow. You're meant to expand. And I know you can do this. I believe in you. Be the buffalo today. Take one thing that you're afraid of and take the first step in facing that. Because I promise you, once you run through that storm, once you're out on the other side, you're going to feel amazing. I love you. I believe in you. You can do this. You can do this. Until next time, be well. I love you, friends. Bye.